You know, the other day, while I was having breakfast, I thought, what's a really important question? Like, what's the most critical question I can come up with? And there I had this sort of epiphany. It was, how can I not be a jerk? So that's the critical question. How can I not be just a bunch of jerks? It's a big philosophical question. How can you be a better person? Why don't we go back to China, round about 500 BC, to find an answer? That takes us to the great Chinese philosopher Confucius. Confucius, in his magnificent book, The Analects, wrote a number of aphorisms. That means these short texts that describe his philosophy. Confucius believed that the key to life was to live the Tao. Now, the Tao means the way. And the funny thing is, the way can only be lived. It can't be spoken. It can't be taught. It's something you have to feel. So straight away, the idea is actions speak louder than words. It's just us talk all the time, as we tend to in the West, pontificate about what's right, what's good. Let's act. Chinese pragmatism, which is not about searching for truth, but searching for social impact, is what you find in Confucius. The Tao is the way that must be lived and cannot be taught. And if you walk the Tao, if you walk the way, you will become a Chunsu. The Chunsu is the gentleman. The Chunsu is the person who thinks about others, who's kind. Now, how do I do this? I have to treat my life like a work of art, like a statue. Confucius says, as thing cut, as thing chiseled, as thing filed, as thing polished. You need to cut your life down to the essential. You need to chisel that essential and file it into something beautiful and then polish it. And that's something beautiful for Confucius. It's not being a jerk. It's being a Chunsu. It's walking the way. Being kind unto others. Confucius believed in the golden mean, which you find in philosophies of Christianity, Immanuel Kant, Ubuntu in Africa. This idea that you should always treat other people as human beings and not just as instruments. And if you do all this, you gain a universal outlook on life. Confucius says, great man, being universal in his outlook, is impartial. Meaning that if you can open your mind, not judge other people, everything comes together. Whereas a petty man, being partial, judging all the time, cannot be universal in his outlook. So for Confucius, if we work on our lives, if we care about other people, if we stop judging, we won't be jerks. That's got to be a good thing.